Well, anyway, you guys can go back and look at this swine repellent. So I was just watching a live with Black Label, and this guy. If you guys actually are intelligent, and I think my piglets are, to actually look at how I'm being attacked and look who's attacking me. A Black Label's attacking me, Ohio Guardian, a Nomenesio, Indie Blue, others. And, it's very apparent that some of these individuals have alternative agendas, okay? So some of I don't like literally when I was watching Black Labels live, my head was exploding internally and externally. And he said that somehow I'm doing fake audits. I don't understand the logic behind that. And if you want me to be honest about the practice of actually calling police, other auditors do it. They're just not being honest about it. And, I'm okay with that. And so the notion that I'm producing a fake audit because I'm calling the police to see how they react, that is lunacy. So then meaning that the reaction that North Liberty gave me and New Carlisle and Porter County, I didn't even call the police on them, and they still acted stupid. I just haven't released the video. So the notion somehow that I'm creating fake audits and that's lunacy. Why would you call? Well, okay, so I'll explain it to you like this. And a lot of people disagree upon this logic, Don. But as far as I view what an audit should be, okay, it's about holding the subject matter. So if I am, let's say I'm auditing a police station, okay, or a town, then at some point, I, as an auditor who have a responsibility to you, my viewers, the First Amendment, and to the auditing community, and to the community who I'm doing the audit in, and to myself as an auditor, I need to see how law enforcement is going to react, okay? So I need to have an interaction so that, I can eventually get a reaction. So if that reaction is good, I want to post that. If the reaction is negative, I want to post that. But the notion that Black Label and others are saying that somehow, now, folks, I want you to understand the lunacy here, okay? Hell, that fat bastard, he just said that somehow I am creating fake audits. I'm creating fake audits. So then somehow, then using his warped craziness, and somehow then I have fabricated the reaction of law enforcement. I don't understand how that really actually makes any sense. Okay? So if people don't like my audits or don't like my channel, please save yourself the time and please unsubscribe. But I'm not going to kiss Black Label's ass. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass. See, here's what the audience does not understand very clearly is there is a hierarchy here, okay? And Black Label, Ben Garcia, he is at the top of that hierarchy. So because I won't get down on my knees and so I won't kiss his ass, then he attacks me. He attacks. And I've made it very clear to Ben online, through videos, and through other means, I'd love to have a civil conversation with him. But I also feel that there is an agenda here by Black Label and others. One could make the argument, now I'm not making this argument, but one could make the argument, if you guys actually look upon how I'm being attacked, that these individuals, could be governmental agents, or they have some agenda upon why they keep attacking me. And if you guys watched Black Label's live on Sunday, he did an hour and a half fucking live that was dedicated to bashing me. Now, he knew I was in Porter County Jail. Okay, he knew that I couldn't respond, and he does this shit just to further his own channel, his own agenda, unknown and secret. And so the person who just said I'm putting others at risk, I totally don't understand that way of thinking, and I don't understand. Okay, so here's what I don't understand. Okay, there were two citizens. There were two citizens who called the police in North Liberty, okay? I was not the only one. So if you guys are doing all these FOIA requests, due diligence, and you'll find that two other people actually called the St. Joseph County. If you want to donate, you can go to my PayPal account that's on other videos in the description. If anybody so chooses to donate, I'm not forcing or asking, but if you guys want to, go ahead. Anyway, so I was saying is that there were two other people who called the police, okay? So if somehow by me as an auditor calling the police, then I'm putting a Noman's life in danger, I don't understand that way of thinking, because Noman was aware that I was calling police. And what difference does it make who calls the police? So, I mean, I just don't understand why this is such a big deal. And if there's an unwritten rule someplace I'm missing, you know, I guess I don't understand, and I don't follow unwritten rules. So what I specifically said was a gentleman in a mask who was taking photos of county housing authority. That's it. So it's not a false report. There's nothing illegal upon what I said. And so if you noticed, only certain individuals who have bigger channels are upset about this. And so then they attack me because I don't have as large a following and a large of a platform. Hey, Ohio Guardian, did you have your daily dose of a meth today? I hear you love the meth. Anyway, so if you guys have any more questions about this, I would be happy to answer. You know, I disagree, someone. I do understand the cause. I just go about actually fighting the cause in a different way. That some who are brain dead, some are governmental aid, or just high on meth and stupid don't get it. And so because I don't conduct my audits in the way that everybody wants me to, then I'm the bad guy. So if you don't like the content, please leave the chat. Please leave my channel. I don't want anybody to actually do anything they don't want to do. So let's talk about having a code or having integrity. You know, if people that actually know me were to get on and talk about me, they'll say I'm a loyal guy. They say that, you know, I have a standard upon things that I will and will not do. And so because, again, we're talking about a semantical, myopic argument of who calls the police. And let's say, for example, okay, let's say that nobody called the police in North Liberty. Let's just say, for example, I didn't call or two other people didn't call. Then the world would not know that North Liberty is out of control. So now there's a pattern of behavior here, folks. There's two instances that these North Liberty cops are clearly out of control. And I'm going to go back at a certain time. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm going to do. But, you know, I think they need to be revisited. And, you know, if individuals somehow, I'm sorry, I can't see all the comments coming really fast in the suns of my eyes and shit. But, like, that if people think I'm doing fake audits, so then that logic means that somehow then using Black Label's logic, then I am somehow bribing law enforcement. And I'm not bribing law enforcement. I'm simply placing a phone call in a non-threatening content so that they can come and investigate. And if auditors think the reaction is not what auditors are there for, or not what the audience wants, then I am so sorry for you, because you're delusional. I mean, everybody, I would say a large percentage of people who watch audits online are doing it because they want to see, hey, what's going to happen? Is that person going to get arrested? Is that person going to go, to jail? Are they going to be beaten? Or what's going to happen? Okay, so the notion that somehow that the swine is a bad swine and I am just horrible, I'm supposedly putting lives in danger, is absolute just poppycock. It's a real myopic way to actually think. And I'll take some questions if you guys want. Patty Casey, no, I won't get charged with any abuse of 911 due to the fact that I didn't call 911. I called the St. Joseph County a non-emergency phone number. And it's going to get loud here in a moment. I need to somehow get off this where I am. But anyway, hold up a minute. So I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but the reality is this, folks, that I'll continue to do my audits how I want to do them. I'm not kissing Black Label's ass. I'm not kissing anybody's ass. And if anybody has an issue with how I do my audits, so you guys can come talk to me, you can call me, email me, or whatever you have to do that's not breaking any laws, and I'll be more than happy to actually have the conversation with you guys. And also, other auditors wouldn't have the fucking balls to actually have the conversation in the public forum as I'm having. So I will defend myself calling law enforcement, and I'll continue to do it. And if subscribers don't like it, feel free to hit that unsubscribe button immediately. If auditors don't like it, don't watch my content, don't carry my content. That's fine. So the notion that just really fucking pisses, swine off. Swine can take a lot of fucking bullshit, that's fine. But no, the notion that somehow I'm conducting a motherfucking fake audit, that hits below the belt. It hits just, I try to take pride in what I do. And if people like what I do, hey, watch it. If you guys don't, don't fucking watch it. I'm not forcing anybody to watch my content, like my content. But I am being, just totally just fucking attacked from every fucking angle because I won't kiss certain ass. I'm not going to kiss the ass. I'm not going to touch the ass. I'm not going to lick the ass. I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass. And so that's why this is happening. Also, there is a governmental agency agent component that nobody wants to talk about that's in play here. And does anybody else have any questions? So, virtual frog. I don't somebody help me understand the logic here. How am I creating an unbearable, untoward, or unpleasant, or dangerous environment if I call the police? Let's just think about this. Like, I don't get it, okay? What is the difference if I call the police or if somebody else calls the police? Okay? As an auditor, I owe it to my audience. I owe it to every piglet who takes the time to subscribe, like, turn that bell, or donate, or want swine content. I have an obligation to all the piglets to do a full audit, okay? So my definition of what a full audit is I need to do a complete audit, meaning I have to get the interaction, okay? So the interaction to me is a conversation, okay? So I need to have that conversation to discern if it's going to lead to a good interaction, a bad interaction, or just, you know, something that maybe I haven't experienced. But so the notion that somehow I put Noman's a piece of garbage life in fucking danger, you know, he knows the score. And he knew I was calling. So he can lie to you guys and say, oh, well, you know, I didn't know. I didn't know Swan was calling the police. Bullshit. I've done it before. He was aware of it. And so if you look at the content on Noman's channel, that channel that is failing, by the way, and if you go to Black Label, you'll see the content is exactly the same. So it's kind of like listening to a song and the lyrics are the same, yet it's just different vocalists. I mean, there is a conspiracy going on here that is very evident that, you know, the auditors and some community members, you know, don't like me. Fine. Fine. Don't like me. Kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck. Don't like me. Fine. And so, you know, sometimes I can be very unpopular, but I just don't give a shit. And so my goal of this is multiple things. Number one, the whole reason why I even started auditing was by accident. I've been harassed by the New Kyle Police Department for, Jesus Christ, since I was 17 years old. I'm fucking now 35, 17 fucking years. And, you know, I think that somebody needs to hold these police departments accountable. And so if people don't like how I'm doing it, once again, I'll say it again, and probably I'm going to have to make a t-shirt. If you don't like the swine, please go. I don't want you at that point. But if you believe in the First Amendment, you believe in honesty, you believe in transparency, and you believe in a guy who will get arrested for his viewers, who will, you know, suffer for the cause, then, you know, I'm your guy. And if you want somebody who's going to kiss your ass, sorry, I'm not that guy. If you want somebody who's going to lie to you, go to Black Label. He will bullshit you to death until you have bullshit coming out of your mouth, your ears, and your genitalia. Like that fat fuck, he is the fucking king of bullshit. So the reason why I'm going after him personally now is that fat bastard, he said that I'm doing fake audits. I don't do anything fake. Everything I do is 100% real. And, you know, that attacks me, you know, in a place that just fucking angers the fuck out of me. Hopefully I get arrested for disorderly fucking conduct. But I mean, you know, I've had a fucking enough of this bullshit. Hell, I don't attack fucking Black Label for fucking being a money-grubbing fat fucking whore. I want to fucking attack him for all the fucking shady fucking shit that he fucking does. So, you know, I guess that Black Label and others think I'm a bitch. Obviously, you think the swine is an easy target. I'm not. I have been through this with law enforcement for fucking 14 years. I'm not an easy, well, actually, 15 years, excuse me. And I'm not an easy target. And I'm going to fight back. Verbally, lawsuits. So if I have to sue Black Label for defamation of character, you know, then that's what it fucking takes. But I'm not going to fucking stand by and bend over for fucking Black Label. See, here's the reality of this. See, he doesn't like me personally because I don't subservient to him. I'm not subservient to that fat bastard. So then he wants to attack me. He wants to attack. He wants to attack. He wants to go on attack. Let's get swine. Oh, he's doing fake audits or this and that. You know, I'm the only auditor. There are some big name channels. Even the channels that you guys think that don't actually call the police, they absolutely do. I know this for a fact, but I'm a stand-up guy. I'm not a snitch, and I'm not going to say who those channels are. But there are some predominant channels in this community, some big names. If I send you like, no way, yes way, who do this practice too. I'm the only one, and actually, on News Now Patrick, I think he's admitted to this, I think a year or so ago, and, you know, he got crucified. You know, I'm not backing off. I'm not like News Now Patrick. I'll take the assault. I'll take the bullshit, and, you know, I'm standing by it. So let's take some questions. If you'd like to donate, there is a description. Go to one of my other lives. In the description, there is a donate button that'll go to my PayPal account. And since I'm fucking walking here, you know, I may turn this into an into an audit, actually. And let me see what we got here. So, I think that I just got a comment from one of my favorite auditors, a Southside Slacker, who I absolutely love. He is one of my favorite auditors. I love how he just does not give a fuck. So, for all of you who are familiar upon the Texas disorderly conduct statute, in the state of Texas, if you simply say the word fuck in public, you'll automatically have a summons or go to jail. So if you're trying to contact me, a Southside Slacker, I want you to send me a text, bud. I'm getting fucking phone calls from, you know, all over the place, and I don't know fucking who's calling. So if it's you, man, send me a text. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. I love your work, man. And I think you're one of the actual stand-up guys in this profession, and I absolutely love your work, a Southside Slacker. So send me a text and we'll talk later, man. Well, you know there, Norman, you really pissed me off upon that fucking bullshit fucking video you fucking did fucking last night. So fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. I'm done with you. Fuck you. You can set up a time and I'll either send your camera back or whatever you want to do, but I'm fucking done with you. You're a fucking snitching bitch who needs to fucking, you know, who needs to actually go to prison for a long time for what you're doing. So anyway, since I'm walking here, folks, we're going to do an impromptu audit. I thought I was done auditing, but, you know, I love auditing, and we're going to audit some places down here. There's a lot to audit, and it's still a good quarter mile away. But anyway, does anybody else have any more questions? Okay, so did I forget my meds? God, am I out of shape? So why don't we break down? So because I act in a different way, or I have a different speech pattern, or I stutter, or I think differently, I act differently, or, you know, God damn it, I'm just fucking different, then somehow, wait a minute, swine is crazy. He needs medication. And it's just that some of you tune into my channel because you think I'm crazy. Some of you tune into my channel because you act my passion. Some of you tune in because, you know, in some weird way, you know, you like me, but you don't know how. You may hate me, yet, you know, I interest you. And so for whatever reason you guys are watching this right now, you know, you're getting self-gratification from watching me. And so if I can do anything to make my piglet's life a little better, you know, then I'll do so. No, Jay Kaiser, I did not take away Noman's choice. See, here's the reality. No one's playing the fucking victim in this, and everything we did, I'm just going to say this, and then I'm not going to say any more due to my lawsuit, but, you know, everything that was done for a reason. And, you know, so Noman can disagree with that, that's fine, but Noman's a big boy, literally, and so if he has an issue, he had his opportunity yesterday to contact me so that he could talk like a man, but, you know, he wanted to go live and do some things, you know, so he can act like the bitch that he is. So he's lost that privilege. I apologize if the camera work is not actually good. Okay, so we're getting to our first audit here, and I don't know exactly how to turn the camera around, so I'm going to have to actually turn the camera around physically. And so I wasn't planning on this, but we'll do an audit. And now just note, people, just note, I did not call law enforcement. So if they come and beat the shit out of me, or if they fucking shoot me or tase me, then, you know, somehow I'm doing a fake audit, by the way. Good God, I don't understand that logic. Also, when I released the Porter County video, somehow then me and Noman, then somehow we created that situation then. So I don't understand the whole fake auditing. Okay, so we're here at the first audit. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to do an audit here. Okay, folks. So this used to be Lake's Elevator way back in the day, and it has been since sold to, I need to get the hell off of this because this could be, hold up a second, people. Was sold to a national, I don't know if it's a seed brand or a farming brand. I think it's like HUV something, but these are anhydrous ammonia. And like these tanks before had been broken into by people from Elkhart and stuff coming to siphon off so they can make their meth. I'm trying to hold this camera right, but I got railroad tracks. Just hold up a minute, people. There, maybe that's a little better. And so basically, anhydrous ammonia is for crops and for farming purposes, and then meth heads figured out, like Ohio Guardian, a 2.45 cocksucker, that you can actually produce a meth out of it. So I'm gonna stay on the railroad track here, and then we'll do an audit of some other places here. I don't know how much battery I have left, so when the phone dies, then that's the end of the audit. So then this elevator has access to the railroad, so they can offload grain or whatever chemicals they need coming in. So that is a large amount of anhydrous ammonia. Goodness, Ohio Guardian, I bet you were creaming your shorts. That'll make a lot of meth, huh, bud? A lot of meth there, buddy. Woo! Look at all that. Goodness, that's a lot of teeth rot. Woo! So you can see there, that's the raw chemical right there. So they've offloaded it off the tanker into a storing containers there. You can see those appear to be, well, some of them look to be full, some look to be empty. I was holding the camera sideways. So that, see that conveyor belt looking thing? That's where they offload grain or anything else, and it goes directly into a storage silo or what have you over there. So I'm gonna get myself off the road here. And so after we get off of this elevator here, is going to be on the right hand side is going to be the New Carlisle city or town where they store their vehicles and etc. And so originally this property coming up here where the evergreens or those trees or whatever those fucking trees are, I'm not a tree expert, but that originally was owned by a farmer. And he originally sold out his property to the next audit right next door for about $2.4 million. And then eventually the town of New Carlisle bought it and put up a fencing and stuff. They don't want anybody like me to be able to go anywhere near what they got going on there. Okay, so then over here is going to be air gas. If you guys are unfamiliar upon what air gas is, this it's actually a company that makes liquid gas, liquid nitrogen, etc. And they make a wide variant of products. And so liquid nitrogen is used for flash freezing products, whether it's peas or what have you. And so that's owned and operated by the town of New Carlisle. There. I don't know how much battery I have left. So you see that monstrosity over there? Now, I'm not exactly sure what that specifically is because there's not a lot of information on it, but I know that it produces electricity of sorts, but it's really difficult to find out any information on it. And you know, I think I'm gonna maybe cut this off as far as auditing here, but like, so that's just kind of a view of, I believe it's, I don't know if it's owned by AEP or who exactly owns that, but I do remember a fucking years ago that a company put $200 million into this, and then they went bankrupt, and so it laid vacant for at least 8 years, and then somebody else sunk some money into it, and then now they've got the building all built, and they're ready to start producing electricity there. And so there's other businesses. There's a steel mill there I could go to, but you know, I don't fucking want to, and I'm even planning on doing this fucking audit anyway. But so anyway, folks. Anyway, so you guys got a free audit there, some auditing. But anyway, back to my well, there's a train, so might as well fucking keep walking, I guess. But so the notion that somehow a Black Label and others are saying that I'm doing fake audits. You know, you guys can critique about my auditing style. You guys can critique about, you know, anything you want to critique about my camera work, if I stutter, if I say so too much. I mean, however you guys choose to voice your opinion is fine. But when you fucking say false and utter fucking lies that I'm fucking doing fake audits, I just don't understand. So I want somebody to please help me understand simply by letting law enforcement know there's a person taking photographs that somehow I'm doing a fake audit. Also, the onus should be on fucking law enforcement and dispatch that simply taking photographs is not a crime. So, you know, I don't get that way of thinking. So I don't understand how I'm a fraud. So please explain to me how I'm a fraud. I mean, I don't do anything that's fake. So, you know, if you don't like my content, please unsubscribe. So I think he should sue me for meth comments because it's absolutely true. He's an absolute fucking tweaker. Sue away. I don't know how I do fake audits there, sir. And you didn't do a complete fucking actual thing on trying to explain to the folks how the St. Joseph County Housing Authority is not a county property. I mean, it says St. Joseph County Housing Authority right on the goddamn building. So whether or not they receive their funding from the federal government or however they want to actually pay the bills, it's still coming out of the county coffers. So it's what, folks? All auditors and a Desert Sentinel. Man, you should fucking know this, bro. I'm really disappointed that you don't understand it. If something is owned and maintained by the government, it's what, people? You can do it. It's public property if it is publicly accessible, just like that property was. So, you know, I love how some of you choose not to use your brains. That's awesome. Well, you know, if I have to kowtow to everybody about how I'm wrong, so then I don't want to be right. So I hope you guys do. So I hope you guys do call the cops on me. That'd be great. Have them come out. Okay, so you spoke with her, Desert Sentinel, but you still did not investigate far enough. Like, after I watched that video, I was more confused before you post the goddamn video. There's still a legal question that needs to be asked there, Desert, is where does the money come from to rent the property? If it comes from the county or the federal government, it's still a fucking county building. Thus, it's what again? It's public property. So if it is accessible to the public, it is what? Again, then I or anybody else can go there. So here's another point that some of you guys, I don't understand how you don't understand the law here in the state of Indiana, is even if there were no trespassing signs, I could most certainly walk my fat ass on that fucking property, and if I refuse to leave by law enforcement, or better yet, an agent of the business, then that's trespassing. Oh, so speaking of Leon Valley, I was going to hold that shit off until fucking 8:30, but, until my battery dies, let's talk about Leon Valley. Let's talk about some auditors who were fucking at Leon Valley, either for the famous press conference or for some of their arrests. So let's talk about them, okay? Now, I want to be clear here, just absolutely clear here. Not every auditor who is wrapped up in that mess is snitching or an informant or a governmental agent, okay? Just to make that perfectly clear. There's one individual who was there who defied his attorney's advice so he wouldn't get rearrested, okay? So he went there in the face of danger and still was there for the cause. Then you had another individual who was clearly adios, doing an audit, and he was not there. And if you watch the live stream, in the vehicle that other individual and another fat individual was in, you'll hear the individual who wants to somehow think this guy is a licensed attorney. He's not a licensed attorney. His wife is a licensed attorney, but he's not a licensed attorney. And he's been caught all over YouTube giving legal advice, and somebody needs to drop a dime on that fat ass. But my point is that if you actually viewed that live stream, the fatty in the passenger seat said, well, if they got arrested, they had done something wrong. So, meaning that, he was apprised of the situation. He and the other occupant would have been in the left passenger. So that would have been the passenger driver's side. All of them were in on this. And, you guys can draw your own conclusions. But I firmly believe at some point, at some juncture, I mean, my swine senses were going crazy then, is at some juncture, folks, that either there was an offer made to all the auditors, or there was an offer made to some of those auditors, hey, I'm a representative, just for example, of the FBI. We've started a new task force. We're going to combat this auditing thing because we think it's a domestic terrorism. And so we want, you to lead our movement so we can dismantle everything. And so if you guys notice that there are all these little groups, all these little nonprofits, Midwest accountability, flock, blah, 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 blah. And so there are all these little groups that are popping up. And so what my swine senses are, and another auditor has, kind of let me know to this, that if any auditors have their names attached to these groups, then you're an organization, okay? So, for example, say if Ohio Guardian, a cocksucker of 45,000, sells weed or he sells meth or he's doing something illegal, dude, here comes the RICO. Here comes a motherfucking RICO. And I'll tell you what, he would not be in handcuffs. He would not be under federal indictment. So if any of you want to sue me, feel free. Let's get that going. And if any of you, think I'm out of my mind, then, why don't you do your own homework? do your own due diligence to kind of look into this. Now, there are some organizations who have chose not to be a nonprofit, meaning that they are out of governmental control. I'll use one, for example, a NAIR. I think that NAIR is run by some honest folks. I've talked to these folks. They seem very honest. They don't seem like they have any other agenda than to help people and to actually have an honest organization. But you have other organizations that have individuals running them, just through my personal experience and through things that I know that most don't. You know, these people are snitches, informants, or just straight up governmental agent plants. And so the federal government, folks, if you guys did not know this, how the federal government, man, they are scared fucking shitless of auditors. Like, for some reason, folks, that the FBI, Homeland Security, DOD, and all fusion centers around the fucking country are fucking, I mean, just petrified of people like myself and others pointing a fucking camera. So not a gun, not anything, I mean, anything untoward, but simply pointing a camera at a governmental building. Somehow the fucking FBI is like, oh my God, that is just horrible. And I can't see all the comments, folks. But anyway, so my point to this is there has been a new task force that has been created. Now, solely, now think about this. Think about the misuse of your fucking tax dollars here, folks. That has been solely created to disrupt auditors and organizations that promote the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and just other honest groups that are out there. They're attacking them. I mean, they're going after them through the IRS. They're doing other things just to dismantle them. And if you notice, how many fucking times do I have to be fucking falsely arrested? I mean, good God. So, like, they're trying to put me in a cage so I can't fucking talk to you folks. And even when I was fucking in a cage, I was still doing fucking interviews and stuff. They can't contain the swine. So my ultimate point of this is anybody who joins these little groups, please, please, please do your due diligence, and please be aware that, you know, more than likely, you're going to be eventually set up for something that your so-called leader does, and it'll end in a federal or RICO indictment. And those RICO indictments, man, are really hard to get out of because the net is so broad that, I mean, if you have a Joe Jablonski who's the head of one of these auditing groups, and you have no members, and let's say Joe Jablonski is a snitch, he's working for the FBI, and let's say, you know, he's intentionally selling cocaine or marijuana that is illegal, then so the FBI is going to come in and like, oh, well, you know, we're going to arrest you and we're going to charge everybody else. So then Joe Jablonski, he doesn't fucking get charged. He walks away because fucking he orchestrated the whole thing. He's working for the government, and, you know, he gets to walk away. And then people who really didn't know what the fuck is going on, hell, they're doing 20, 30, 40, fucking 50, 60 years for fucking RICO for something they didn't actually fucking do. So just everybody who's joining these little groups, beware, it's a fucking setup. I just read a comment that I'm being paid for all this. If I'm being paid, I need more money. And if I am truly being paid for this, I want to renegotiate my contract to $2 billion a year. I'm underpaid then. I'm fat and out of shape. Oh, so I'd like to speak about No Monesto. So I don't know how well you guys can hear me over this fucking train here, but Norman and I went down to Porter County on Saturday, and I was actually taking him to Michigan City to actually get a car because I'm such a, a horrible friend at that point. I'm a guy that doesn't care about him. I'm a guy who allegedly tried to get him killed. I'm just a horrible